What's up, and welcome to Lunchtime in the Lab, your number one gambling podcast for quick-ish plays. Give me a second here. I'm trying to see. Normally I get a notification that I went live and I didn't. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Let me retweet this. Okay. That and then YouTube. Okay, people, I can see people on YouTube. And in the beginning it was saying like zeros everywhere. I wanted to make sure that like I was like streaming or whatever. Get stuff out of the way here. What's up, Chris? What's up, William? William, possibly not somebody I've seen here often. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, like the video, everything like that, I would certainly appreciate it. I just had Jersey mics for lunch. I tell you what, I don't know. First of all, why does my mic look like it's so low? Secondly, I don't know why in my life it took me so long to start eating Jersey mics, but delicious, man. Get it Mike's way. Yep. Big night last night. Got the brooms out. That was nice. I really wanted to hit the no sweat parlay, but unfortunately, Derrick Henry just didn't really get going. And honestly, I didn't really think he was going to. Of course, I mean, I liked it on the cheat sheet, but I didn't, that's why I didn't really bet it. You didn't really see Derrick Henry on many of my slips. Because I just was wondering whether or not how that was gonna go. What's up, Ronald? But recap from yesterday, and then we can just talk about some stuff just really quickly. I'm still trying to at this point now my camera seems like it's pointed like too high. Like whatever. Anyway, yesterday we go 2-1. We were a toe away from them tying the game up. Justin Tucker had that missed field goal, but that didn't really hurt us in a sense of what the spread was. We were on the Ravens +3. That didn't miss, or that did not hit. Justice Hill, though, man. I look, I didn't realize it was a popular play. I posted we hit it, and then it's I seen it all over Twitter. I don't care though. Killed it. I mean, the guy cashed first drive. Absolutely killed it. So while Keaton Mitchell is out, I think we're gonna be looking at Justice Hill, as a third down back. I mean, just like I said, Derrick Henry is not really known to be too much of a passing back. And we seen Keaton Mitchell on the field a whole lot yesterday. And then Xavier Worthy, guys, I was nervous for a second. He had that 21-yard rush touchdown. Gosh, he's going to be dangerous. Looked extremely fast. And it's man, I wish that was a pass. Then he had a 12-yard pass. And then I'm looking, I'm like, man, there's 3, 4, 5 guys that'll have a 22+ yard reception. And then what makes it so dangerous with him and Mahomes is that, Mahomes is mobile and he does a good job of evading the sack and he's moving around. And that gives guys like Xavier Worthy time to just get lost in the sauce kind of thing. And he, got behind the defense for a touchdown. Xavier Worthy had 2 touchdowns yesterday. I don't know what that would have looked like for a slip. I don't know if any of you guys bet Xavier Worthy have 2 touchdowns. It's like a plus 10,000 maybe. Maybe not that much, but awesome for him, man. Cool to see that. But anyway, we cashed that over. I think it was like a 30 or 40 yarder. I don't know what it was. Cheat sheet went 3-2 or 3-5. So I mean, successful day there. Anytime touchdowns. I mentioned EQ. What was the odds on the Worthy 2 touchdowns? I mentioned Carson Steele anytime touchdown. Yeah, I bet that on DraftKings where I get that bonus back. So no harm, no foul, there. I think he got 1 carry, to be honest, maybe 2. I think that's it. I think that's all there is to talk about. In the Discord, man, like I mentioned, if you're watching on YouTube in the link here, I got the link in the description for a month, the biweekly, whatever. If you're on Twitter, up at the top in the bio. I gave out free play yesterday. The builder that hit, I gained 200 followers. I ended up giving away some money. We did, Justice Hill and then Justice Hill and Rasheed Rice. Rasheed Rice looked phenomenal too, guys. Rasheed Rice looked fast, man. That Casey offense just looked fast. Rasheed Rice and Worthy, man, both looked fast. Zay Flowers, I had Zay Flowers, Rasheed Rice at 3 catches, and then Justice Hill on his receiving yards. In the Discord, it came to plus 198 boosted. So we hit that one nearly 2 units on. So I was up 4 units. You know, I mean, if you're betting $100 units, you're up $400 with me. Good stuff. Good stuff. I think that's all. I think that's about it. That's all the bragging, the funness and everything. Joey, appreciate it. We'll be doing, I'll drop another, man. Like, look, I am trying to just continue to grow in this space. And unfortunately, it takes hitting lottos. And that's not my style. Like, I'm looking on Twitter right here and it shows I just had TTC follow me, the burning heart emoji. But TTC followed me and 75 other people. So it's nice to see, you know, I'm at 25,195. I just hit 25,000 like yesterday or 2 days ago or something like that, you know, so picked up almost a couple hundred followers in the last couple of days. That's the goal, you know, Joey. So I don't know if you're in the Discord at one point, you're stacking enough money to get in there, but I'm going to continue to give the builders out on Twitter. Because I want to continue to grow, man. If people are hitting these damn things, I mean, I hit them at a pretty damn good clip. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm hitting it at, you know, 100%. Like 75, I feel would probably be fair. Hit 3 out of 4 on a given day. Look, last year I think I hit 14 or 15 in a row. I don't know how many. I mean, I at least I'm at 2 builders in a row here. I couldn't tell you how many I've actually truly hit. I'd have to probably go back and like look at the tracker. It might just be, you know, the 2 builders yesterday. And then because I'm thinking like Sunday Night Football. No, we had one on Sunday night as well. I might have to go back and look. I mean, I might have a little Saturday though. I definitely had a 3-leg like safer play that definitely missed. But I'm at least on a 3 or 4 streak at this point. Last year I went 14, 15 in a row. These boys hit, you know, so yeah, lottos are crazy. Love the builders though, man. Hey, FanDuel's got a boost today, 50%, but it does not have a restriction. Like we joked, you know, the Joey, thanks for the retweet on Twitter, by the way. Any of you guys else come from Twitter or got me on Twitter, try to retweet this for me, continue to help me grow. Like and subscribe. The video will get into place here in a second. But what the hell was I gonna say? I was saying something about builders. Oh, the boost. You know, the one for tomorrow on FanDuel, they've got a 50% boost for college football, but it has to be plus 100 before before you use the boost. So it's a plus 100 and it turns into plus 150. The one tonight for NFL does not have to be. So, hey, like I don't care. It's not pretty. I'm going to take a builder at minus 150 and I'm going to put the 50% boost on it and we're going to play it at plus 100. And this shit's going to cash by first half, something like that. Look, people comment and be like, nah, you did all that work and it's only plus 100, like waste your time. Like, dude, whatever. You don't like money, get off my page, you know? Anyway, before we get into it though, game yesterday, man, super exciting. Let me know, in the comments, Twitter, got one person on Twitch, 25 or so people on YouTube right now. Let me know, what you thought of that game yesterday. It was really exciting, really frustrating to see those penalties called for the the offensive lineman. He's sitting too deep. We had some Lamar Jackson looked great. I mean, everyone's talking about how he's skinnier, he's lost some weight. So, and it did seem like he was moving really well. Seemed like Lamar Jackson moving well. Mark Andrews showing his age, Mark Andrews did not look good. I mean, he caught that one pass and just like fell over. Mark Andrews, I think, did not look good. Isaiah Likely, he's had 2+ catches in like 10 straight games now or something like that. I think that Isaiah Likely is going to be, a force for sure. I think Zay Flowers looked good. Rasheed Rice looked fast. Kelsey, didn't really do much. Mahomes is still Mahomes. Mahomes still looks great. Definitely looked like the guy's foot was out of line, though. Guy's foot was out of line. Definitely was. But that doesn't make up for the fact that he missed Isaiah Likely in that corner route and just couldn't hit him. Put that ball on him. That was an easy touchdown. I mean, he had separation and he just floated it over the corner. Damn near got Isaiah Likely hurt. And then, everyone's talking about the foot on the line thing, but like, did y'all see him miss Zay Flowers across the middle? Like, I don't know if he thought Zay was going to sit down. I'm sure there's a bit of a miscommunication, but like, Zay should have sat down. He continued to move, what happened, but it's like, goodness, like the game at that point, I had already like swept. I was already feeling good. I was already counting my money. But I would have loved to have seen overtime. That's for sure. You know what I'm saying? So, but let's go ahead and get into the plays. What's it say right here? Oh, what is it right here? Definitely helped me win when I first joined, and lately I've been going against the picks and failing. Yeah, you don't want to go against the plays, especially if you're in the Discord. You're there to follow and not like blindly. I wouldn't say blindly follow, but I mean there are some people. Like college football. If I don't have a read and Ty likes something, I trust Ty. I follow Ty. I follow Spread for tennis. Feezy for MMA. But look, I've been doing this since, dude, my phone's been weird. Like I have a notification and I want to look at it, but it won't like unlock looking at my face. I've been doing this since like April of 2022, like quote unquote officially. And I'm up 300 and probably I'm probably up. It's been a while since I reset it on my Twitter. My bio, it says 340, but I had a 10 unit. I'm probably up 360 units since April of 2022. So that's 24 months plus what, another 5. So that's 29. Is that 29 months? I've been doing this for 29 months. I'm up 360 units. If you were $100 better, you're up $36,000 just blindly following me. That's over 10 units on average a month. I mean, I think last year I went 11 straight months in the green. I think right now I was red in January. So like February, March, April, May, June, July, August, I've been positive. So I would blindly follow myself. What is that? I don't know. Your blast off, Julia. I don't get many people watching on Twitch. I just started streaming to Twitch. So thanks so much for knowing that I got some people in there. So appreciate it. Thanks for showing up. Subscribe or whatever it is on Twitch. All right, let's get going though. What does it cost anything to join? It does, Richard. So down here, I got a link for the monthly. I got a link for the 2-week. Of course it costs money. I mean, like it's I'm giving out these fantastic plays, a whole group of us. There's a promo right now. It's NFL 35, all caps NFL 35. You hit the monthly link that makes your first month $32.50, I believe it is. The normal 2-week is $30. So you essentially get it, get the second week for $2. $50 a month is what it is. It's consistent with every other, big group in the space. I've seen some people charge hundreds. I've seen people literally charging $100 a day, and it's ridiculous. There's like a dozen cappers in there. We specialize in soccer, tennis. You got baseball guys, football guys, whatever. So it's a good deal. DM me on Twitter though. We're gonna get into the plays here. I've been talking for so long already, guys. Thank you. Thanks for sticking out with me. And then we'll get to the plays. I was trying to find. Oops, that's not what I wanted. That one right there. Oh shoot. Okay, whatever. I gotta do both. Right there. At Live Joe Bets on Twitter. That's where I've got the 25 some odd thousand followers. DM me on there and I can help you. I can help you answer any questions that you have about it or whatever. Yeah, Vandy in there. We got Lotto guys in there. Of course, dude's got a crazy bankroll. I mean, he won $21,000. He won $40,000 this week, but I mean, he also bets like $500 a pop. Yeah, I mean, there's some good lottos in there. Guys are hitting, for thousands, and there's me who plays like the straight bets and stuff. And it's just my brain. It's the brain. We'll talk about it. You'll get to see it here in a second. All right, here we go. Without further ado, we talked for a while. Thanks for hanging out. I have let's talk college football really fast. It's going to be an afterthought, but I think I was already on it. I think there's a really good edge here in this game with Duke and Northwestern. If you haven't already on this channel, first off, like I said, just do me a favor. And do me a favor and like the video, subscribe to this channel, everything like that. Hawk, I'll get to that when I'm done. But we released there's two games tonight. Ty and myself recorded a quick video. I think it was like 8 minutes or something like that. I got a breakdown on BYU and SMU. We have a breakdown on Duke and Northwestern. We didn't talk about Western Illinois and Indiana. I don't that's a FCS versus an FBS opponent. That's junk, and like let's move away from it. But we do have about an 8-minute breakdown of both of those. So if you're interested in college football, check it out. It's on this very channel. It's an 8-minute video. It's under the Boys of Fall. And then we'll also go live we'll be live tonight at 8:30, which Ty's an Eagles fan. So I'm kind of surprised that we're doing it when the game starts, but it's about 30-40 minute show, and we'll break down, we'll each have 4 or 5 plays for the slate for tomorrow. So if you like college football, show up tonight at 8:30. We'll be live. We'll be talking college football. But one play from that show that we did on Friday was Northwestern and Duke. I like the under at 37.5. And it's weird that this under has actually come up a bit since I looked at it a day or two ago. It was at 36.5. It's come up to 37.5. This is that's a low number, really low number, but the biggest handicap with college, what's so nice about college football is there's these extrinsic factors that you get to handicap. Like last week, it's like, oh, okay, NC State's playing Tennessee next week. NC State's not going to want to put a lot of plays on tape, so they played like a slower, running type game. Then it really opened up the playbook kind of thing. Speaking of Tennessee and NC State, I got a play that I'm going to drop in the Discord that just honestly feels like free as air, and I can't wait to give it out. Northwestern is getting their stadium renovated, so they're playing on their practice field. This practice field, you guys, like stadiums are built, obviously like oval, and they're not like real open air, and it's to help combat the wind that is generally within that ecosystem that they live in, right? Wherever they're at, wherever the wind blows, it helps combat the wind, so it's not like super crazy, and that's why you have like the tall buildings and everything like that, obviously hold the people, but that's how it goes. Northwestern is playing on a practice field. It's kind of like a makeshift field they have going on because they're renovating their stadium, and it is like on a lake. It is like on the shore of some big river, some big lake, something like that. So it's going to be just ungodly windy during this game. There's going to be difficulties passing, and Northwestern doesn't want to pass the ball to begin with. Duke doesn't want to pass the ball to begin with. I don't know if I can quickly show you guys here. We'll see if I can find it without it taking forever. Total offense. Seconds per play. And then let's just try to control F here. Northwestern. Okay. So Northwestern's ranked 66th out of 130 something. It takes them 30.9 seconds. And actually, I'm sorry, some of these teams actually haven't played yet. That doesn't seem true. That's super weird. I don't know. They don't run a lot of play. They take a lot of time in between. Their offensive line has gotten better. I think they're going to control the game. And Duke actually has a pretty good defense. And Northwestern's offense is not good. Duke's defense is pretty damn good. Duke's offense, man, it took them a while to get going. Northwestern's turning into a bit of a defensive. They just want to kind of have a sluggish, slow game. And like I said, it's going to be windy. They're on this weird practice field, all that stuff, yada yada yada. I like the under 37.5, and I feel actually really good about it. And an under is the kind of game that you just don't really want to you don't really want to watch, which is perfect because there's an NFL game on. So I'm going to bet the under, and then we can just move on. And then at some point we'll check in while we're watching the NFL game to see if it's hit or not. All right. Texan tie. Whole ass overtime check. First day of football. That's fantastic. All right. So first official play for the podcast is going to be the under in the Duke and the Northwestern game. For those reasons, I feel pretty good about it. On the podcast, Ty was leaning BYU. I was leaning SMU. I do think SMU like money line if you wanted to put it like with it, but you really can't get it to where it makes sense and it's the extra risk. Because I mean, you got 34.5 is a key number. 37.5 technically is a key number too. That's 5 touchdowns and a field goal. So like 38.5 technically would be the better number. But I'm not really worried about it. It's going to be like a 10-17 kind of game. Hopefully. Okay. Football real quick then. Or NFL, I guess we should say. So first off, if you guys have anything in particular, or there's any plays you guys really like, let me know. Because I think that this game is a little bit more difficult to handicap. Because I think Jason Kelsey's departure is gonna matter. Not tremendously. Like they still have a pretty good offensive line, but I don't really know what to expect out of the Eagles. I really do think the Packers is a good team. I think the Packers probably win this game. If you're listening to Ty's going to tell you the Eagles are going to win this game. Ty's an Eagles fan. I don't know if there's any biased or not. I mean, he also the other day he bet against Penn State, and Penn State killed West Virginia. He's a Penn State fan too. You look at this, look at some of these props. Like the Packers don't really have a true. My nose itches like crazy. The Packers don't really have a true like wide receiver one. You got Watson, Dobbs, Reed, Dontavian Wicks. It's hard. You just don't know who's going to be the guy. Jalen Reed seems to get a lot of attention, gets a lot of targets. Romeo Dobbs seems to be pretty consistent. Christian Watson seems to be kind of a boom or bust. And then Dontavian Wicks is like kind of that deep ball kind of guy or whatever. It's not like Devonta Smith and AJ Brown, which are true like number 1 and 2s, and they got a really good, And then not to mention that Luke Musgrave is in here, like he's a pretty good tight end, for the Packers. So I feel like taking receivers for the Packers just not a good idea right now until like a true number 1 like emerges. Hopefully I'm not like lagging right now. I got a little internet bar popped up saying I'm unstable. Dude, I don't understand. Like when you look at an iPhone, is it not supposed to like just open when you look at it? Like, why do I keep having to put my code in? Anyway. What you talking about, Corey? All right. To get into the game though here. Devonta Smith and over 4.5 receptions. Look, this has been like my favorite play for like a couple weeks, honestly. And we talked before, like it's just, betting on sports is just so prevalent. There's people everywhere that eat up like the same information. So as soon as like a bigger account says something, all these smaller accounts or whatever is that just pumping out 5, 6, 7 plays a day, they're gonna eat it up. Everyone's talking about Devonta Smith. Everyone's talking about his receptions. You know, that doesn't mean it's not a good play. Some people say like, like going with the public is bad because it's the books know or something like that. Books don't know, in my opinion. Um, the Eagles have a new offensive coordinator. Well, let's first off start with Jair Alexander, one of the better corners in the league. Uh, he generally tends to shadow the number one receiver, so it's likely that Jair Alexander is going to be over AJ Brown in this one. So AJ Brown can still have a good game. Jair Alexander is certainly losing a step. He's not that same like defensive presence, but I mean, dude's a punk. First off, I don't like him. But he does tend to shadow the number one receiver, which is going to be AJ Brown in this spot. In the offense that this new OC is going to have for the Eagles, they run a lot of motion and it's been expressed or talked about, rumored that Devonta Smith is going to be playing more so out of the slot, which slot receivers are going to generate more receptions. And, you hope to have that yard after a catch, more receptions than they do yards, depending on like the route or whatever. That's where they're going to have those little crossing routes. They're going to be involved in like slants, the crossing routes across the middle, possibly like screens. Like you're not running screens to AJ Brown very often. I mean, he's a big bruiser type, not speedy, receiver. Devonta Smith, just like that role for Zay Flowers yesterday, just like the role for Rashee Rice yesterday, is going to be that intermediate slot, the screens, the quick curls, the crossing routes, the slants, whatever it's going to be. That's going to increase his receptions, in my opinion. And I like over on his receptions at 4.5 for a podcast play. Reminder, if you're in the Discord, the official plays are what's going to be, notified, or whatever. I'm like, hey, like there's going to be one unit on this play, so on and so forth. Sometimes these plays don't make it to the podcast or to the Discord. Sometimes they're used as a leg in a sweat free or a leg in a builder. But yeah. Second play, Jordan Love over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I think let's see. Let's look at this here actually really quickly. If you haven't liked the video yet, do me a favor, like that video, please. Okay, so he was over this in 59% of his games last year. So I mean, that's pretty good. Green Bay allowed only the eighth least amount of receptions to the wide receivers last year. How was he away? Or no, I won't know that because he's not truly home right now because they're in Brazil. Outlier is by far my favorite. I mean, I had props.cash or whatever once, and I just didn't like it. And I like how like everything is where I need it to be, and maybe props.cash is like, included that, but player profile is so nice because it gets to show like who the primary corner was and how many routes they were throwing and stuff like that. But I wanted to see last year he took 24% of his snaps out of the slot, but it doesn't show like what yards came after that. So that's all right. Anyway, let's move on to Jordan Love. But the reason that I like Outlier is like, props.cash doesn't have like all this stuff. But like over here on the right, you can see that Philly, last year, it's the current number, but obviously they haven't played yet. So they gave up the 31st most passing touchdowns to quarterbacks. Which obviously there's 32 teams, so they were the second worst team quarterbacks. In terms of, they actually gave up, I think, the most touchdowns wide receivers too. So if you're looking for an anytime touchdown, it would probably be a wide receiver. They also have a pretty good rush defense, so that's is what is having me think that Jordan Love is going to hit. Jordan Love's going to throw 2 touchdowns today. I think the Packers are going to look phenomenal. I think the Packers are going to look really great. In the last 10 games, he's over this in 9 to 10. He missed against the Giants. He's thrown at least 2, in what's that, 6 straight games. We can look at, him away last year because he's in Brazil. 9 of 11, so he missed just 2 times away last year. Look, like, I think this game, I think that I don't know. I think it's going to be a close game, which means that there could be some more running. But I think it's going to be a game that's within a touchdown and maybe kind of goes back and forth to where the need to pass for Jordan Love is definitely going to. So it's the Packers are going to be winning because Jordan Love is having a great game and they're throwing all over him. And then so he's going to get his yards, his touchdowns that way, or they're going to be losing and he needs to throw and we're going to have like a good game script for it. So like I just don't think you can go wrong. The quote unquote issue with this is that there's juice. So I would recommend, you got minus 168 on DraftKings, but we can get it at, damn, it moved, but that's okay. Ooh, I lost my shit. Dude, this camera is pissing me off. Hopefully you guys can hear me still. Okay, I'm back. This moved. It was like minus 150 earlier. There's a 50% boost on DraftKings where you can put you can boost it depending on what your limit is or whatever. So the 50% boost on this, I would recommend using, and that's going to get you at like, I don't know what the actual math is. Is that going to make it 115? I don't think so. I need to figure out why my phone's not doing the Face ID. It's kind of pissing me off. Yeah, opt into this and see what it'll be. Everyone's got different limits though too, so like it might not be worth it. And make it minus 110, which is solid. Like I got a decent, like I can bet like my normal amount on this. But like if you can't, you could always add like I don't know, to be honest, but let's see what it does here. Passing, props. Jordan Love, and then him to throw for. You can't do that, unfortunately. But if you like Hurts, what? It doesn't even give us any better odds. I don't know. You guys have to play with it. There's so many options for like a juice reducer and whatnot. Like I think that I think Josh Jacobs could have. I mean, let's see. I meant Saquon Barkley. I don't know. But the way I'm going to play it is by utilizing this boost. So hopefully you guys have access to DraftKings. If you don't, add in, you could always do like Devonta Smith for like 3 catches or 4 catches. And then, Jordan Love to throw a touchdown and get pretty, 2 touchdowns, get you pretty close to even money. But with the boost, the 50% boost on here, we're going to utilize it that way. and we're gonna get ourselves pretty close to even money there. So yeah, I mean, you can take Devonta Smith like at like 3 receptions if you wanted, or I'm sure Jalen Hurts throws for 175 yards. Like I've been, I got to put together a builder, and like my first things first is always quarterbacks. I mean, pass yards is almost 9 times out of 10 what I want to do. It's just sometimes he has like just suck ass games, you know, like 250 against Tampa, but then he only threw 55 against the Giants. Did he get hurt? I don't mess with the Eagles like that. 167 against Arizona, you know. And I'm sure he's healthy, right? Like, because Jalen Hurts had been hurt for like ever. And then, like, I don't know, like, Green Bay was allowing the 28th most rush yards to quarterbacks last year. So get him at like 25 is a little. I mean, I got to go through and like mess with it, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. Saquon scores. I think so. That's probably where I would go. And then I would go with a receiver for the. I think you see more rushing out of the Eagles in the red zone than you would out of Green Bay, because Philly's probably got a little bit of a better rush defense, it seems like. So I would think that, yeah, Saquon Barkley for a touchdown might be a good look. But Jalen Hurts, man, Jalen Hurts was always scoring down there. So but there's no Travis Kelce anymore, or Jason Kelce. So I don't know what that tush push is going to look like anymore. Um, just the way it was going before, I would lean Jalen Hurts over Saquon Barkley, because Hurts was scoring like all the damn time. I mean, he had a touchdown in 11 of 18 games last year. And then I would go with it's got to be some kind of Green Bay. I just don't know who. I mean, if I think he's going to throw 2 touchdowns, it's got to two guys who got to catch the ball. I just don't know who the hell is going to do it. I would think maybe Dobbs will be a good one as a 240, and then go like Jalen Hurts as my two guys. But all right, so now's the time. About to move into the recap here, guys. We're gonna do, but now's the time to, if you got questions, particular question or anything like that, now's the time to let me know. Jordan Love passing touchdowns. Devonta Smith receiving yard or receptions. For what though, Trent? Was it raining? Yeah. Like, Brazil's got to be hot, right? Like, I don't think that should cause any issues though. I would think Dobbs, Trent. He seemed like if there's a number one, I it's got to be Dobbs, right? I mean, I think you said you're a Packers fan, but I I would imagine Dobbs. 3+ touchdowns. We were just talking about Jalen Hurts. The Packers, I think I forget what I said. I think they gave up like the 28th most rushing yards last year. Obviously, last year. I think it's gonna be a closer game, so the need to like kind of like be a baller, right? Like, quarterbacks aren't gonna run if it's like a blowout. There's no reason to do that. But if it's a close game, then he's gonna like take off, dive, take a hit, that kind of stuff. I don't love it, but I think that's probably a pretty good look. Yeah. Yeah, it's all just situational, Trent, unfortunately. Dobbs Wicks could catch a bomb, you know, they run it, get stopped, hit Reed on a slant, or something like that. All situational. But those are the three, official plays for the podcast. The Discord, I'll have the real official plays later on. So I am going to get out of here. Unless anybody has anything, I'll give you guys a second. I need to I need to make up my mind on what straight bet I'm gonna run in the Discord, which I mean I've pretty well got it. I need to at least have an idea of what builder I want to run, but honestly, just in the way my brain works, it'd probably be smart to just go ahead and drop the plays. Just put the plays out for today so that way I can move on and start focusing on tomorrow. I get backwards sometimes. Like I'll be worrying about Saturday's plays and I'm like, oh shoot, like I better figure out what's going on today. So but yeah, I'm gonna get out of here so I can do a little more lab work for you guys. Try to finalize some stuff. Tonight, like I said, we have the Boys of Fall podcast. Sunday morning, depending on what's going on, I'll probably try to have a live show on Sunday. So hopefully you guys are subscribed. I don't know if you guys get notifications or anything like that, but um, check that out. I don't know what my wife has planned, to be honest. Like if let me look at the calendar real fast. My phone had to have like disabled the face thing. Oh, my wife's going to lunch. Oh, it's late though on Sunday. Well, that's nice. I like to watch football probably like all day. I don't know. I don't know about Sunday. Barkley receptions. I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't like the bet on the Eagles. But they have like Gainwell or whatever, I'm sure. Yeah, maybe I will have to go do that. I got some eyes. People were looking at me. It's a little rainy where I'm at though. If it's not raining, yeah, maybe I will. Although like I'm like driving down the main drag and like going 20 and the speed limit's 35 and everyone's, backed up behind me. But yeah. My guy, you missed the whole show. We're leaving. Just for you. Jordan Love over 1.5 touchdowns. Talked about the 50% boost on DraftKings. We recommend using that because it's like minus 160. Devonta Smith over 4.5 receptions and under 37.5 for the Duke and the Northwestern game tonight. But if you want the breakdowns and everything like that, this show is always recorded. So as soon as I close this out, you'll be able to, I mean, honestly, at this very moment, you can probably rewind it and go back and you can see that stuff. But I'm going to get out of here so I can get going and work on winning some more money this afternoon. Appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys back tonight for the Boys of Fall podcast where we talk about college football.